highlighted how little he knows about the internet. You can't possibly tell people to stop.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about it was that it had come to his attention, whether he read the blogs himself or somebody had shown him the entries. He had read it, he reacted to it, and it resonated with him as well. So maybe the message didn't come through, but what we're seeing here is that blogging and the blogosphere has gotten to a point where it can take the attention, command the attention of people in power. So in the sense that this narrative of weak versus powerful and the weak being able to express themselves through the internet, it might be a theme that will continue. Other things might come up, maybe not a different scenario, and hopefully the blogosphere at least demonstrated its ability to make itself heard. And these are ordinary people who have nothing more than spare time and spare bandwidth, expressing their opinions, whether right or wrong, but at least they're being heard. And I think that in that sense, from a deliberative democratic standpoint, it's good. It's good for us as a democracy.
And we hope that the freedom of the internet will remain. Something that we have to be conscious of, Cheche, is that there are pending bills in Congress right now that seeks to regulate the internet. And what I'm afraid of is that this might be used as an excuse. The so-called irresponsibility of some bloggers could be used as an excuse to regulate the internet. We have to be conscious of that. And I think this is where bloggers and journalists can unite to uphold freedom of expression in cyberspace and beyond.
I think the question of what went wrong, I think not so much what went wrong, but actually what went right. As far as blogging is concerned. Look, you have here for probably the third time only an issue that really, roused up the blogging community and exposed them probably to what ails Philippine society. I don't think it's an accident that so much has been bitterness has been heaped upon the Pangandamans. It's an accident that
it was them.
It was them because look, they belong to a clique, a political clique that's identified with this regime, with hated administration, hated by a lot of sectors and all that. So. I think that also played a part.
That's right. It's really an expression of frustration.
Exactly.
In the political system.
When you also
aren't they victims of it?
Who?
The Pangandamans.
Well,
I mean, can't they be identified as the victims?
In the sense that sinampulan sila? Probably. But look, the blogging community flexed its muscle. They're saying now that an issue like this, we can harness our potential, whatever, good or bad, to for people to talk about this. So. I think that's good. I think.
Well, so there is good news and there is bad news in this incident. We'll come back in a few minutes after the break to continue discussing this whole brouhaha about the De La Paz issue. Stay with us. Welcome back to Media in Focus. We're here with journalist and blogger Kaloy Conde and Noemi Dado of popular blog AboutMyRecovery.com. We're also joined by UP Professor of Journalism and Bulatlat editor and columnist Danilo Ara. Welcome again. Thank you very much for staying with us in this really rousing discussion. Kaloy, let me ask you. One time in one of your blogs, you said that Bambi and other bloggers should take care about what they blog about. What did you mean?
I meant it in the sense that where I'm coming from is that if you my sense at the time was Bambi took she used, not used in a good way, blogging to really seek justice, to really not just pour her heart out and elicit sympathies, but really to fight for justice, and that's good. And then I wrote in the next blog that the other bloggers should now think about how to sort of, probably the word repay was in poor taste, but sort of like reciprocate the goodwill or the things that they've been able to do with their blogs in seeking justice by also writing about the issues that affect other people, especially the ones that, the poor ones, the ones that are being violated, the ones who don't have access to the internet, the ones who are poor. So it's like a call to blogging activism or digital activism or of some sorts. But then again, I got a comment that says, look, this girl is just she's just trying to recover, and I think it's unfair for you to expect her to do that sort of thing at this point, which is, you know, I took it well, I mean, which is right.
But let me just ask, aren't blogs just about your personal interests? If you're not interested in politics,
it could be.
It has
you're
gone
not,
beyond that.
No, there's so much
It has
now
gone
in
beyond
blogging. There's
yes, but I mean,
technology,
shouldn't we have space and allow people to talk about their personal interests? If it's cooking, if it's makeup, and not necessarily
Politics.
issues of import that we consider issues of import.
But the personal experiences can be contextualized, and again, this can help shape public opinion because you're able to relate what you're writing about to, you know, a bigger societal context. I think that's important also.
And with the advent of social networking, I think a lot of people now are seeing blogging and social networks as an extension of themselves. So, you know, you don't sort of how do you call this, compartmentalize your experience and say, today I have this experience and I will blog about it probably in 2050, not right now. No, you don't do that. In blogging, it's the nature of blogging is it's a living thing. It's a living organism. It evolves. It for better or worse, it evolves, and then it used to be that blogging was just about, you know, pretty
what I did
insignificant
today.
things. Yeah, what I did today.
Okay,
so
you're
dinner.
you're saying
I mean, we still have that, but
we still have it, but it's evolving into something more substantive. Noemi?
reflecting the experiences of the bloggers.
Yes, it is. You were saying that we should be blogging about other issues. Actually, I do that.
Yeah.
But this one had a bigger snowball effect compared to my other articles about current events. And I dealt with the poor, I dealt with suicide, I dealt with the injustices in some parts because my blog is about death and recovery and grief. So it is also the story that, that the readers can relate. They could really relate to the story.
Okay, but isn't blogging, you know, in the same genre as, for example, movies, entertainment, where they don't necessarily choose items of societal impact? They can do movies and and write music.
You can find your own niche actually.
Yes,
in blogging. It's you know, it's
it depends on your specialization
or your interests.
Yeah, your
As I
interests.
say, it's a
well, okay,
reflection of what you
blogging
are.
is an alternative to mainstream media,
It can be,
or
but
is it a companion to mainstream media?
it complements.
Yeah, people want to look for opinions. What does this blogger have to say about this? I want to be more informed because these are just facts. And some of them, there's no opinions. So they really rely on the bloggers. Some bloggers that they like to follow.
Yeah. If you're looking for commentaries, for example, you can get that mostly from blogs. And if you want context to certain stories, I know of a lot of journalists who use blogs to upload whatever data they have or whatever they cannot.
You put in mainstream media.
In mainstream
Or
media.
add some context and nuance to the reporting.
Yeah. You know, earlier, Danny, we were talking about ethics, no? What principles of ethics that are applied to mainstream journalism should be applied to bloggers?
Well, I guess truth-telling, if we look at the three principles, main principles in ethics, truth-telling, stewardship, and accountability, I think these are general tenets that can be observed by bloggers. And incidentally, these are indicated in the Bloggers Code of Ethics.
Also.
But as I said, I have to be careful in making, you know, formulations about ethics because these are not impositions on the whole blogosphere, and we cannot do that. It's just a call or an appeal to bloggers to be conscious of the power that they wield. They say that just because they have a blog and that it's personal, they say that they're not accountable. That's wrong, because if you're part of the public sphere, it's your choice, and there has to be some prudence and some responsibility in doing what you do, making disclosures as to potential conflicts of interest, as to what you're doing, etc. So
does that affect you, Noemi? I mean, you're one of the more popular bloggers.
Of course.
And did you realize the strength or the power of your blog?
I didn't realize it until some comments came out. Some entries actually came out questioning my credibility because I edited a word there. I changed it from, I'm going to say it because they thought I changed it because I was afraid of libel, from equally dysfunctional to peacemaker appointee. Taken alone, it looks like, you know, it's really bad word, but they didn't see the whole context. I want to hear the side of Pangandaman on why he just looked on as as his two sons hurt the boy or mauled the boy. I forgot the whole sentence. But the context is there. I didn't change the sentence. I was questioned for that. So I didn't realize that really I don't care if I have credibility or not. I